especially since not a single cent of American taxpayer dollars going to the improvements here. Shut the up. What are you complaining about?
And on Pop Culture Elite today, that is outspoken bassist known as the Demon, Gene Simmons, co-founder of the legendary rock band Kiss, defending some of President Trump's changes at the Kennedy Center at last night's 48th honors event. Members of the rock band Kiss were honored, as was disco icon Gloria Gaynor, actor Sylvester Stallone, Broadway actor Michael Crawford, and country artist George Strait. They were among the honorees. And here now, with us in studio, very exciting for me personally, Kennedy Center honoree, founding member of Kiss, Gene Simmons. So it's so good to have you here. Let me ask you, you guys were such rebels. You shocked all of pop culture and all of America in the 70s. Did you ever think that you would be given a Kennedy Center honor?
Yes, and that and more. And when we're all children, we all have delusional notions about ourselves. Why? You were born and you knew that you were going to... No, you had big dreams. And part and parcel of between the big dream and reality is just hard work. Hard work is easier, but to have this kind of, imagine this, the will to reach for the stars and all that. I'm getting very emotional about this. But in America, it's big dreams. Reach for the stars. Did I ever imagine? You betcha. Climb Mount Olympus? You betcha. The air up there's thin, but I belong there.
So anybody who grew up watching Kiss knows the four members. The names are Gene Simmons and Peter Criss and Paul Stanley and Ace Frehley. And sadly, Ace could not be there. He passed away earlier this year.
Yeah.
Did that make the event
poignant?
Yeah.
Well, his daughter Monique and his wife Jeanette were there, and it's heartbreaking. Ace actually found out from the Kennedy Center that we were going to be honored, and he was so thrilled. We were four knuckleheads off the streets of New York with no resume, no experience, no manager. We didn't know. We were like kids playing in the mud. Scientists call that a singularity. It just happened. The right thing at the right place and the right time. Boy, I'm kind of good looking up there. Look at that guy.
You look good.
Yeah, and I want to tell you that I can't explain it, but here we are, and I get very emotional talking about this because I wasn't born in America. I know I don't look Swiss. My mother and I came here as legal immigrants because there is a difference. And we waited in line for years until we finally came in. And one of the first images I saw on television was a man, and he was flying through the air with no jets or anything, and just a cape on his back, and my mind was blown. What kind of country is this? And every chance, I'm still amazed by the wonder that's America, and I get flack for that, for people saying, well, you're doing sound bites. No, I deeply love and I'm amazed by this country, no matter all the problems. There's always, people always argue about stuff, but the wonder that is America is that I can be here, first generation legal immigrant, and people who've been here for hundreds of years don't say, go to the back of the line. I can have access to any position in power I can have as long as I'm willing to work for it. That's the American dream.
I love it.
By the way, I'm running for, no.
You're not running, but you are going to testify at a Senate hearing tomorrow.
At their behest.
Yes, in support of the American Music Fairness Act, which would require AM/FM stations to pay royalties to artists, treat AM/FM radio similar to digital streaming services, and pay royalties when American artists are played on foreign radio. This would be a shakeup of the music industry. Tell us why it's taken so long for these changes to even be discussed this way.
It's not going to be a shakeup. We're going to fix an injustice that has been ongoing in America, sadly, for generations, perhaps. Look, your favorite artist is Elvis, because you've got the do and all that. And for about 70 years, Elvis's music has been played on radio. Everybody gets paid. The radio industry, which we love, we don't want to demonize them, made $14 billion with a B this last year. How much did the Elvis estate get for all the times you heard, you ain't nothing but a... How much did he make?
Really?
Goose egg. Zero, nothing. That includes Whitney Houston and Celine Dion, Frank Sinatra, Bing Crosby. I'm dreaming of, written by Irving Berlin. The Crosby estate got zero all those, perhaps 1,000,000 times that radio played that song. And this is not just about the past, Jake. May I call you Jake instead
Of course, please.
Yeah, because, you know, you're kind of a big deal. The new artists that are upcoming, your children out there could be the next Elvis, and we're going to allow America to treat them worse than Russia does? Today in Russia, when a performer, a musical artist is playing, Russia pays them. In America, we don't? What are we, a communist country? Come on!
I wish you the best of luck with that. I want to ask you, you talked about how you came to this country as an immigrant with your mother. You were born in Israel. Your mother was a Holocaust survivor. I saw a very moving...
Holocaust survivors, too, smoke and mirrors. My mother was a survivor of Nazi Germany's concentration camps. Holocaust survival is one of those smoke and mirrors ideas. She survived while millions and millions of people died. Not just 6 million Jews, 2 million Catholics. If you were gay, you were killed. If you were gypsies, you were killed. All undesirables were tortured and killed. And I don't want to tell you about the horrors that I later found out about.
Well, I saw a film of you meeting with a soldier who helped liberate your mother from that camp. And it was very, very moving. And I know that's an incredibly important issue for you. And I wondered, what can we do to stop this rise of anti-Semitism that we're seeing on both the left and the right in this country? It's so horrifying.
I think the best thing we can do is to talk to people such as yourself, because cockroaches, hatred, not just anti-Semitism, anti-Muslim thing, homophobia, and hate comes in all kinds of, but it's very similar to cockroaches. They thrive in darkness. When you see a cockroach in your kitchen, turn on the lights. They scurry back, but it's our job to move the fridge out of the way. They like the darkness. Expose them. When you see somebody espousing hatred of any kind, get your cell phone out. Say, what's your name? Where do you live? Why do you saying these bad things? And put it on media. They're going to get fired out of their jobs. It's not a corporate entity that wants to be known for hiring people of hate. So you have the power. We have the freedom of the press. You can go out publicly, gather, whereas in England they had to have public halls, pubs, which is why they drink so much, because the landowners in feudal England, I used to be a 6th grade teacher, didn't want you gathering and talking. They stuck you in there, gave you booze, talk all you want, get drunk over here. Over here, the right to free speech, gather, and the Constitution says, we the people. I want to get back to the American Fair Music Act that I'm going to make sure both Republicans and Democrats understand. They might not be aware of it. This is not a political issue. This is bipartisan.
Yeah.
Show me a politician who is not in favor of Americans working hard and getting paid for it. We're not as good as Russia in this area.
I hear you. I hear you. You can check him out on tour in the new year. Gene Simmons, the legend, the icon. He's still rock and rolling all night and partying every day. And he is now a Kennedy honoree. Thank you so much for
By the
being
way,
here.
have you noticed how much better looking I am in real life?
Without the makeup.
Yeah.
I thought the makeup was to hide something, but no.
No, I'm kind of a big deal.
You're a big deal.
Yeah.
You're a big deal. Thanks so
Well,
much
it
for
was a
being
pleasure to see me.
here. It was.